like to call to order the public hearings of the Public Improvement Commission of the City of Boston. Today is August 24th of 2023. Mr. Liming, could you do the honors of doing a roll call for me, please?
Of course. Would the representative from the Public Works Department please state his or her name for the record?
Parag Jayasinghe.
Property Management Department?
Yep. Callahan.
Transportation Department?
Amy Corden.
Water and Sewer Commission?
Denise Devlin.
Disabilities Commission?
Sarah Leon.
We don't have anyone from ISD today, but we do have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Liming. First order of business, approval of the hearing minutes. At the request of the Public Improvement Commission staff, the acceptance of minutes of the PIC hearings held on August 10, 2023. I'd like to hear a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of August 10th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Hearing none, motion passes. Now moving on to the public hearing portion of our agenda. First item, public hearing number 1 on a petition by Verizon New England Inc. for a grant of location with lead company status and no participants to install new telecommunication conduit with City Shadow within the following public ways in Boston proper. Charles Street, south of Beacon Street at Charles Street. This was brought new business on August 10th of this year as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Grant of Location Plans Verizon Charles Street and at Beacon Street. Proposed conduit installation 2 sheets dated August 2023. Do we have the petitioners today?
Yes, good morning. Ross Billadu, representing Verizon New England. How are you?
Doing fine, Ross. Floor is yours.
Sure. So, like you said, this was presented as new business 2 weeks ago. We're here for our hearing today. Just to recap, I'll share my screen.
Thank you, Ross.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Okay, again, to recap, Verizon is proposing to place new conduit on Charles Street, starting at a point, manhole 492, an existing manhole, to a intercept point A, which is approximately 117 feet away. From that intercept point A, going underneath Charles Street to a future handhold to be placed by Externet. Continuing from intercept A down to another point, intercept B, which is 63 feet away. We're going to continue another 65 feet across the street to a future handhold placed by Externet. Again, going from intercept B, we're going to run south down Charles Street about 610 feet to our sheet 2, down Charles Street and across to, again, another future handhold to be placed by Externet. I believe last time you had asked us to coordinate with the improvement project committee that's happening in this area. I was wondering if, Todd, if they had reached out to you to obtain that contact. And you were also looking for us to confirm that we would provide bike lanes, which we will, and remain ADA compliant while the duration of the work is happening, which we also.
Thank you, Ross. Amy, I'm going to assume this is all cool with Stephanie Seskin's fantastic work in this area.
I hope it is.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm being silly here. You all obviously do excellent work, coordinate as it needs to. If you're impacting any existing city assets, please put them back in the right way, and we'll just keep moving forward. Any questions or comments by fellow commission members? Hearing none. Any comments by PIC staff or members of today's audience?
I'll just mention that the Parks Department has reached out and requested that Verizon stay in close communication with them, just in regards to the proximity to the Common and Public Garden, obviously. I will take this opportunity to remind the public if they wish to ask questions or add testimony, please use the raised hand function, which is within the reactions tab at the bottom of your screen. But PIC staff has no other comments.
Thank you, Todd. Again, Ross, not to labor the point, but this is, especially when you come across the huge crosswalk between one side of the gardens to the commons, please exercise as much caution as you can to not disrupt the pedestrian traffic and the cycling traffic, okay? Excellent. I'd like to hear a motion regarding public hearing number 1.
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by Verizon New England for a grant of location in Charles Street and Beacon Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Hearing none, motion passes. Public hearing number 2 on a petition by Verizon New England Inc. for a grant of location with lead company status and no participants to install new telecommunication conduits with City Shadow within the following public ways in Dorchester: South Sydney Street, southwest of Seven Hill Avenue at South Sydney Street. This was brought under new business on August 10th of this year, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Grant of Location Plan, Verizon, 8 South Sydney Street, proposed conduits installation 1 sheet dated August 2023.
Okay, again, Ross Billadu representing Verizon New England. Like you said, this was presented as new business 2 weeks ago. So just to recap, Verizon is proposing to place some new conduit out of an existing manhole 238 located in the intersection of Sydney Street and Savin Hill Ave, and running approximately 279 feet south towards a new handhole, to be placed by Equinet. So pretty similar to the last petition. You are asking for Verizon to restore the crosswalks markings, which we will have no problem doing.
Thank you, Ross. Questions by fellow commission members? Hearing none, any comments by PIC staff or members of today's audience?
No, none.
Thank you, Todd. I'd like to hear a motion regarding public hearing number 2.
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by Verizon New England for a grant of location in South Sydney Street and Savin Hill Ave as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Hearing none, motion passes. Public hearing number 3 on a petition by Verizon New England Inc. for a grant of location with lead company status and no participants to install new telecommunication conduit with City Shadow within D Street, a public way, South Boston, located southwest of Old Colony Ave. This was brought under new business on August 10th of this year, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Grant of Location Plan, Verizon, 135 Old Colony Ave, proposed conduit installation 1 sheet dated August 2023.
All right, again, Ross Billadu representing Verizon New England. This one was also presented 2 weeks ago, like you said, as new business. So just a quick recap here, Verizon is proposing 546 feet of new conduit from an existing manhole 211 located on D Street. Like I said, running approximately 546 feet to the property line at 135 Old Colony Ave. You were asking us to confirm any impacts to any medians over here, and I don't believe that there were any medians, but there is a crosswalk, which we will happily remark at the duration of our work.
Thank you, Ross. Any questions for the petitioner by fellow commission members?
Oh, yes. Hi, Ross. This is Denise Devlin from Boston Water and Sewer. I don't know, I sent you an email about 2 weeks ago. We requested that we were going to be working out here in this area. We just requested that we want to be out there before you start the work, and that work is supposed to be in September.
Okay. Okay, I'll make sure they coordinate that with you, Denise. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ross.
Thank you, Dennis. Any additional questions for the petitioner? Hearing none, any comments by PIC staff or members of today's audience?
No, we're all set with this one.
Excellent. I'd like to hear a motion regarding public hearing number 3.
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by Verizon New England for a grant of location in D Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Hearing none, motion passes. That concludes the public hearing segment of today's agenda. Now moving on to the new business portion. New business hearing number 1. Sorry, not hearing. Hudson Avenue, Northampton Street, East Lenox Street, Tremont Street, Roxbury, Boston proper, specific repairs on a joint petition by the City of Boston Transportation Department and the City of Boston Public Works Department. Good morning.
Good morning. I will be representing that project. My name is Taran Wong. I'm a civil engineer with Howard Stein Hudson. We are working with the Boston Transportation Department to present this project today with you. I'm going to start sharing my screen.
Go ahead, Mr. Wong. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are working in the neighborhood of Roxbury. We are looking at 3 intersections. The first intersection here is at Harrison Avenue in Northampton. We are planning to improve the pedestrian accommodations in this area through the variety of raised crosswalks, new pedestrian ramps, improved street lighting, curb bump outs, and the inclusion of green infrastructure in this area, as you can see here on this plan. We are also looking at the location just down the street. This is at Harrison Ave at East Lenox Street, again in Roxbury. In this same location, we are planning to improve the pedestrian accommodations by reconstructing the deficient pedestrian curb ramps in this location, as well as the relocation of some drainage infrastructure to accommodate the improved pedestrian accommodations and additional street lighting. And the third and final location is located at Tremont Street at Northampton Street. Similar to Harrison Ave at Northampton Street, we are going to install new pedestrian curb ramps, install raised crosswalks, and curb bump outs with green infrastructure, also improving street lighting out there with some additions to the drainage infrastructures to accommodate the pedestrian improvements.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Just for my edification purposes, the person at the Transportation Department that we are working so closely with, his or her name is?
John Monticelli.
Oh, one of John's works. Excellent. Any questions for Mr. Wong by fellow commission members?
Oh, yes, Mr. Wong. I just had a quick comment. We're actually going to be working out here on Harrison Ave, so if you can coordinate the work with us. I don't have an exact schedule yet, but that job already went out to bid. And also, we also didn't get the 100% or the PS&E design plans to review. If we can send that to us. Because some of the comments we had made first in a separate email for PIC purposes, they weren't included in this set of plans.
Understood. Our plan is to update the plans with your comments we received from BWSC for the new public hearing meeting in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, great, thank you.
And we will coordinate with BWSC on the Harrison Avenue work.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Any further questions? Sorry, Sarah.
Sorry, just one question. On page 2, there are a few pedestrian ramps that looks like they're not being reconstructed. Can we confirm the compliance of those ramps? And if they are compliant, just have that noted on the plan.
Will do. HSH has performed a field verification with smart levels to confirm that those 2 ped ramps are compliant.
Fantastic, thank you.
And we will note it in the plans.
Thank you. Any further questions? Hearing none. Any comments by PIC staff and or members of today's audience?
No, all set.
Excellent. We will mark you up for the public hearing in 2 weeks. That should take us to September 7th.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Take care. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Next item, new business item number 2, Melcher Street, Neco Street, South Boston, specific repairs on a joint petition by ARE-MA, region number 74, limited liability company, and ARE-MA, region number 68, LLC, and Nico TRC LLC. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is John Moser. I'm with VHB as the civil engineer for the project, representing the project ownership for the specific repairs at Melcher Street and Necco Street. This time I'll share my screen. Just a brief overview. The project site is located in the South Boston waterfront neighborhood at the intersection of Melcher Street and Necco Street. The project is proposing one raised crosswalk on Melcher Street and 2 new pedestrian ramps partially within the public way. The work will create an accessible path from Summer Street Bridge to the Harbor Walk, which does not exist today. The project is proposing the crosswalk to be raised as part of the required off-site mitigation by BPDA, which will provide safer pedestrian access and help with resiliency in the area. Any questions or comments?
John, thank you for that very brief presentation. But for the public hearing, you may want to tell the commission members what is this project related to, because I'm sure you are just not coming, or the petitioners just coming to build this specific repair work, but it is tied to some development work. Is that correct, John?
Yes, that's correct. The project.
Awesome. So at the public hearing, give some context to the commission members so they have a sense of what work is associated with the private developer, if that makes any sense to you.
Yep, absolutely. The project is associated with the 15 Necco project, which is located just south here on Necco Street, which is a development as part of this, as part of the project ownership.
Thank you, John. So again, for the public hearing, you don't need to do a huge presentation, just if you have an isometric view of the development project and some context so that the commission members can give you as proper guidance as possible as to the impact, both construction and its impact to this area. Okay?
To be fair, he's here because we asked for this.
Mother of mercy, I'm like sound like an idiot. Okay, John, never mind. But just a couple of words as you did right now will be quite sufficient. Okay? Any questions from Mr. Moser? Hearing none. Any questions or comments by PIC staff or members of today's audience?
Just wanted to point out that Necco Street is a private way designated as open to public travel, shown on the plans, but that should be noted for the record. Other than that, nothing.
Thank you, Todd. All right, so John, we will see you in 2 weeks on September 7th. Does that work for you?
Yes, that works.
Awesome. See you then.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Last item on today's new business agenda, a citywide adoption of a policy for electric vehicle charging stations on a joint petition by the City of Boston Transportation Department and the City of Boston Public Works Department. Good morning. Hi, Matt.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here. Essentially this is looking at creating...
Oh, sorry, Matt. You may want to introduce yourself, even though I just blurred. Hi, Matt.
No problem. Matt Warfield, I'm the director of the New Mobility team here in the Transportation Department on the Policy and Planning Division. And I lead our work on installing public access EV charging within the public right-of-way. We currently operate about 66 level 2 charging ports, mostly from our municipal parking lots. And as we continue to expand access to public charging, we're looking to go within curbside in the public right-of-way as we exhaust our off-street resources. So this policy here is to essentially create a simplified process for EV charging stations located at curbside locations that are owned and operated by the City of Boston. So these are ones that we have heavy involvement in terms of site selection, design, management, ongoing operations. And so essentially this would require standardized designs, but then we would present these to a shortened list of folks within PIC in order to get these installed. Anything outside of this, if it was a private operator coming forward and wanting to locate EV charging in the right-of-way that did not involve the City of Boston, that would still go through the standard PIC process and involve an MOU and everything there. happy to answer any questions, if anyone has any.
Thank you, Matt. And again, thank you for not just you, for the whole team that is working on this thing and making this move forward. Much appreciation by so many people. So our hats off to you, Matt. Thank you. Todd, I'm going to assume that all commission members have a copy of the policy, because I just want to know whether Mr. Warfield should be adding anything more to the record and how to structure it so that if someone is listening on this tape or whatever, that they have sufficient information. So your guidance on that, Mr. Limey, will be appreciated.
Yep, the commission has been provided a copy of this draft policy document. It still is a little bit of a work in progress, but it is largely settled as far as the the spirit of it at this point, just doing kind of some minor grammatical and diction editing and that type of thing. We will make a copy of this draft document public within the next day or so, and then it will be in final form prior to the next PIC hearing on September 7th, which hopefully the commission will be able to take action on it at that time.
Excellent. Thank you for putting it on tape that you will put this document online. Awesome. Any questions for Mr. Warfield? Hearing none, again, Matt, thank you so much for all that you do, and it's just not you, all those that are helping you. This is absolutely a significant step in the right direction. All right, so Matt, we will see you in 2 weeks, September 7th.
That's good, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That concludes the last item of new business. I'd like to
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
thank you, Amy.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Hearing none, motion passes, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Recording